Hello, welcome to my channel. So we're going to talk about respiratory system in this video. So let's start. Introduction. The human respiratory system is a series of organs responsible for taking in oxygen and expelling carbon dioxide. So these two gases are included in this system. So the human respiratory system is a system of a series of organs. So these organs are working together to perform a task. And the main task is taking in oxygen and expelling carbon dioxide and expel carbon dioxide as a waste product. So the primary organs of the respiratory system are the lungs. Obviously, there are the lungs which are carrying out this exchange of gases as we breathe. So these are the primary organs and the most important organs in the respiratory system. The human body needs oxygen to sustain itself. Obviously, oxygen is very important factor of our life, and without oxygen, obviously we will die. You can imagine if you are in some kind of water, if you are in some kind of sea, and you're drowning in it, so you are not getting that oxygen gas in because it is not present in the water. So if we will not get the oxygen gas, we will probably die. Other parts of the respiratory system include trachea, also known as the windpipe, bronchi, diaphragm, capillaries, and alveoli. Oh, alveoli is a very royal word, alveoli. Alveoli are also known as air sacs. These different parts regulate, control, and filter the air as we breathe. They are playing many different roles in this whole system. Some are regulating it, some are controlling it, some are filtering the air and making it pure oxygen that will enter our body. So we're gonna learn about it as we go further. Okay, now label diagram of respiratory system. So you can see there's a man over here, and there are the nasal passages, the throat, the larynx, also known as voice box, and in the lower part of our neck, the most lower part, from where our voice comes, is also known as voice box and larynx. Okay. There's this trachea over here, also known as the windpipe, because wind, air, oxygen is going in through it. These are the veins which are colored blue, and there are the bronchi and bronchi holes which are splitting up into each lung. There's that heart over here, there's a diaphragm, and the arteries. Arteries are colored red because they're carrying oxygenated blood. Okay, now let's move forward. Here are the alveoli or air sacs. They're also known as air sacs, which are covered with thin capillaries. So if you can see, there's these red capillaries. So they have the oxygenated blood, and these blue ones have deoxygenated blood. And here is where the exchange of gases take place. This is the trachea, this is the voice box over here, and the lower part is the trachea windpipe. Now the bronchi leading to the lungs, splitting up into two and splitting up into two and more parts further. Okay, here the diaphragm, and you can see over here, this is a kind of muscle that helps the lungs to take shape when we are exhaling air and we are inhaling air. So this helps it to move the movement of the lungs. Okay, now we're going to talk about the process. Okay. As we breathe, oxygen enters the nose or mouth. So from nose or mouth, through both of the pathways, the oxygen enters our body, and then it passes through the voice box. The voice box is, I've told you before, it is where our voice comes from. And from the voice box, air passes through the trachea, the windpipe, the long tube over there, also called the windpipe, yes, I've told you before, and into the bronchi. The bronchi are two different tubes that are separating the air into each lung, which are two tubes, I've told you before, that carry air into each lung. Each one of the bronchi is called a bronchus. So this is the singular form. Okay, now let's move a little up, that carry air into each lung. So they carry air into each lung, so they separate the way from there. The bronchi are lined with tiny hair called cilia. So they have these tiny hair inside of it, and there it is called cilia. Those tiny hair are called cilia that are moving back and forth. This is the movement of them and carrying mucus up and out. Now we're gonna move it down and let's see that what is mucus. Mucus is a sticky fluid that collects dust, germs, and other matter that has invaded the lungs. Okay, mucus is a fluid and it is very sticky that collects dust particles. Obviously, when we're taking in air, many of the different particles are present in the air. So it carries that all the air that we are going to inhale, that it also has germs, it also has many bacteria, it also has dust particles, it also has pollen grains, everything is included in it. So it collects the dust, germs, and other matter that can be harmful to the lungs, that can provide damage to the lungs, and is what we expel when we sneeze and cough. And when we sneeze and cough, this is the sticky fluid that comes out through it, and then we throw it out. So this is the sticky fluid that is going to get out if it's more than if it's like dirty enough. It gets out through our sneezing, through our coughing, we get it out of our body. So move to the next point. The bronchi split up again to carry air into the lobes of each lung. So there it was they were splitting up into two parts, into two different tubes, from single tube to two different tubes, to carry air into each lung. Now into each lung there are 3 and 2 lobes. Okay, so in the lobes they have to carry air into those lobes. So for those lobes they split up into 3 in the right lung, and they split up into 2 on the left lung. Okay, now let's read why do they split up 3 in the right lung and why do they split up 2 in the left lung. So let's see. The right lung has 3 lobes while the left lung has only 2 to accommodate room for the heart. So if we can see, the heart is in the middle of our body, in the middle of that particular place where the lungs are present. It is also present there. The heart is also present there because they have a connection of blood vessels. So it is in the middle, but it's a little turned in onto the left side. So accommodate for room for the heart, they have to be only 2 in the left lung. Okay, the lobes are filled with small air sacs called alveoli, which is where exchange of CO2 to O2 and vice versa occurs. Okay, so here is the whole summary of it. So now they have reached those air sacs, also called alveoli. So this is the main part where the exchange is going to be happening. Okay, so this is CO2, this is carbon dioxide gas, and this is oxygen. So there is oxygen there, present there. So the capillaries are gonna exchange the oxygen to carbon dioxide, and then the carbon dioxide will go back to that pathway and go out from our body as a waste product. So this